now for a quick Devar Torah. One of the aspects of this week's Parsha is it says that we will have a central place for the tabernacle, the Mishkan, that you don't go around setting up tabernacles all over the place, or there won't be temples all over the place. So the question comes up, why does the Torah specify that there has to be one place and not many? And there's a lot of different reasons for this. One is, remember that one of the purposes of the Torah in the period of the wilderness was to get Egypt out of the Jews. That we got the Jews out of Egypt, that was easy. But we have to remember there's a whole culture in the world that has a different view of things. God wants us to be a Jewish culture, that the basis of our culture is the Torah, not what we think is right, but what we know is what we know through the Torah what to be right, and our actions based on that. And remember that in the ancient world, everybody set up little temples in this place and that place for this God, for that God. God says, no, that's none of that. It's one place, and then there's other aspects to making one central place of prayer that everything goes out from. It brings everybody together. 3 times a year, we all have to go to the tabernacle and lay the temple. It means that you get to meet other people, other Jews who you might not have met before. It builds up community. It builds up nationhood. You should know that before World War II, that in the U.S. Army was made up of regiments from the different states. There was like New York regiments, Massachusetts regiments, etc. You didn't have, in times of war, a unified army, so to speak. Only in World War II did the United States Army do away with the system. And they did away with it because of, during World War I, whole towns had their youth wiped out during the war, during World War I. During World War II, they decided to mix everything together so that not one place would suffer unduly. But the point was, what it also did was it meant that instead of you being only with people from your state, you are now serving with people from all over the country. And it made for a much different aspect. It unified the country. And later on, during the Korean War, when the army had been desegregated, it meant that you looked on others as regular guys. This is one of the things the Torah is coming across, is trying to teach us that yes, we are all part of a community, and every community has its own unique aspects to it. But when it comes to central authority, there has to be one central authority. Otherwise, you end up with anarchy. And that's one thing the Torah is trying to prevent. Remember that this is all taking place more or less a month before we enter the land of Israel. Moshe is telling the Jews how to have a government, how to have a society. It's his parting wishes, so to speak. And that's why he's so careful to say there'll be one place for everybody to go and pray. And this will unify us in that we have one central authority, that we all will then follow the same rules, so that today you can go anywhere in the world and you walk into a shul, you'll know right away if it's Ashkenaz, Sephardi, you'll know that. But basically the prayers are the same. We're unified in what we say. So in our religious literature, the Shulchan Aruch and the Mapa, the work of the Ramah, you can see that it's all unified. It's a unified system. Within that system, you can have different customs, but the basic rule has to be as one system for everybody, that we're all equal, all part of the whole. Something to think about.